Only lucky people get opportunities in life. If that's true, then how did Mr. Beast almost get 100 million followers on YouTube? In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can invite opportunities into your life so you get what you want. So there's a couple things that are getting in your way. We have opportunities around us all the time. We're just not recognizing them. Some people are recognizing them and taking advantage of them, so they are getting the results that they want. They're getting progress. They're getting more money. They're getting more success. So why are they doing that, and how are they doing that? That's the question we're going to answer in this video today. So people are inviting opportunities into their lives and others aren't. So if you're someone who's not inviting opportunities into your life, there's an answer for that. There's a solution. So let's take a look at people who invite circumstances and situations into their life. So there's somebody on YouTube called Mr. Beast. He has almost 100 million viewers. He's inviting viewers and money and opportunities into his life every single day. He's probably saying no to opportunities. So what differentiates him versus somebody who doesn't invite opportunities? Well, for one thing, he did something very unique. He looked into his future, 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, 10 years, and he actually made videos of himself talking to his future self, describing what he anticipates to have happened between now and then. And he just made it up. He just made up how many subscribers he wanted, how much impact he was having, and he just made it up. Now, the key here is psychologically, that's anticipation. And anticipation has a lot of power. It actually will pull us forward. And you want that. You don't want to be pushing. Pushing is like taking a boulder and putting it on your back and trying to climb up a mountain. Instead of doing that, you need to lighten your load and just take the steps that are required in order to get where you want. And anticipation does that. It actually will pull you forward. It excites you. It motivates you. Because now you have a perception, you have a view of what you want and what it looks like. And you need that. If you think of a bridge, so you're building a bridge. If you're here and you're not having a good time in your life, you're not having good experiences, not having opportunities, but over here is pleasure. So this is pain island, this is pleasure island. You know, this is where things are challenging and hard, and this is where things are beautiful and wonderful, and you have power. So this is pain, this is power, and you want to move across that bridge. So how do you move across it, and what do you do to invite the things you want into your life? Well, you need to get into what I call receiving mode. You need to invite the kind of circumstances into your life by picturing them, by anticipating them, and by creating a future vision for yourself. That's why your future identity is so powerful, because once you have a clear picture of what your future identity looks like, then you can invite the opportunities and people will come into your life. Circumstances will come and opportunities will come. They'll come so fast that you won't necessarily be ready for them. But the key here is that if you're going to be in receiving mode, you need to stop resisting. Resistance is like having a bent garden hose, and we're trying to water the garden, and we don't know that it's bent. So we're telling somebody, hey, turn up the water, and they turn up the water and maybe a little more water comes through, but it's bent. It's not going to go any faster. It's not going to come through. So you need to unbend that hose and get out of resistance. And you do that with your attitude. And your attitude is a combination of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So you think and feel and take action, and every day you're getting feedback. Life is a feedback loop. So whatever the feedback is that you're getting, that's the evidence of your actions. That's the evidence of your thoughts and your feelings. That's the evidential information that you need to look at and realize, am I getting what I want, or am I resisting somehow? Opportunities can't come unless you're open to them. That's for sure. We know that. We've seen it time and time again. I had an opportunity years ago to get hockey skates for a great price. And I went to this event. They gave me a little ticket. I had my number. It was number 36. And I remember standing there in a crowd, and it was all crowded, and we were all crowded in. And they would invite us into this little area where we could try on the skates and then leave and buy them. And I remember being in that space, and somebody comes pushing through and pushes me out of the way, and he was number 35, and he was ready to be called next. So they called number 35, and then they called mine right afterwards. So he walked in, I saw a chair, I sat down, he found a chair just after me. Somebody came right up to me and said, "What size?" I said 8.5. They went and grabbed that 8.5. I tried them on. They were a perfect fit. And then I heard it. The gentleman right before me that pushed through, that wanted to get in so eagerly and get his skates, he was an 8.5 as well. And they said, sorry, sir, we're out of 8.5s. I got the last one. But his attitude gave you an indication of whether he should receive this or not. He was pushy, he was aggressive, he had ego, and that was, the response. He didn't get what he wanted. So you get what you want by the actions you take, by the things you think about it. Remember, Dr. Joseph Murphy said that what you think and feel, you create what you believe. So you got to think about what you want. And just writing down your wants every single day, just a handful of them, 3 or 4 or 5 things that you want. They could be the same things or it could be something new. But focusing your attention on what you want matters, because then you will attract it to you. Just like Mr. Beast did, attracting almost 100 million viewers now and attracting all these opportunities. Why? Because he invited it into his life. He anticipated it. He created a space for it. So if you are not getting the kinds of things in your life and you're getting what's called, psychologists call confirmation bias. So, you have confirmation bias, which is basically, what you think and feel, what you believe you can have. That's what psychologists call that. But also there is cognitive dissonance, which is going against yourself. You're conflicting with yourself. And so you believe, or you think you want something and you believe you should have it, but you don't believe it wholeheartedly. And because you don't believe it wholeheartedly, you don't get it. So that's cognitive dissonance. There's a separation between what you think you want and what you can have, and then, what you believe you can have. And so you don't get it. And we often don't realize that we are doing this to ourselves. We're sabotaging ourselves. We're saying we want something, but then we're not going and taking the action to get it and inviting it into our lives. That's what's happening all the time, every day. And you need to shift a little bit, just slightly, not a big change. Just start thinking about what you want and writing it down. If you want, make a video of you talking to your future self, 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out, and just describing what kinds of things you anticipate happening or the way things should be, how they should be better, right? And then make that video and watch it and think about it and think about what you want, write and journal about it and get your attention on it. Here's the bottom line. Our whole world, our whole universe is patterns. It's all patterns. And you can see the science proves it. They actually mapped out the planet Jupiter moving through space over 8 years, circling the sun, moving through space. It's patterns over 8 years. And then when they showed the picture of that planet and its movements, it looked like a flower. So if you think about it, like that's on a big scale, planets moving through space. It's creating a pattern. And it was a flower, a symmetrical pattern. It's definitely patterned. So your life is a pattern. The whole world is a pattern. So your patterns of thought, your patterns of action, your patterns of inaction, your patterns of belief, things that you try and fail at and then don't try again. Those are all patterns. And so you have to recognize that your patterns are going to create the circumstances in your life, whether you like it or not. And it all starts with thoughts. So what are you thinking today? What do you want today? Otherwise, you're going to get caught in these vicious loops, feedback loop, where things aren't happening, and then you say, that's how I am. I'm just not lucky. I'm not fortunate like they are. I don't get the things I want unless I work really hard. Well, those are all just beliefs. You don't have to do that. You don't have to think that way. So, if you go out into the world and something happens and you get an opportunity, that's a confirmation, right? So you're getting a confirmation that that's working. And so then you start believing that you have the capability to get the kinds of things you want. So if you want more and better things in your life and you want opportunities, you have to get in receiving mode. Think of it like a closet. You have a closet full of clothes. And if you were to buy one more item, it would have to go on the floor. But that goes against your principles and you will not put it on the floor. So your only option is to remove things. You must give some things away. You must give it to Salvation Army or some other source, but you must take things out of your closet, make space for it. The same thing happens in here in your mind and in your life. You have to take things out to make space for something better. Take something of a lesser value and replace it with something of a higher value. So when you think about it that way, your mind, your life, your opportunities, your circumstances, there are things that you have to release and let go. Oftentimes it has to do with habits. It's your habits, it's your practices, it's your beliefs, and you have to let them go. And you do that by making incremental changes. Atomic Habits, the book Atomic Habits by James Clear talks about this. He talks about the 2-minute rule. So if you're going to create a new habit that's going to change things for you, like writing what you want every day in a journal for just a couple minutes, it's a 2-minute habit. Write for 2 minutes what you want. That's it. Just start with 2 minutes. You cannot do any more. You set a timer, it's 2 minutes. The timer goes off, shut it down. That's it. 2-minute rule. You're just creating a habit. So you create the habit of writing 2 minutes of wants every day, and you do that as long as it takes until at some point in time you realize, this 2 minutes is pretty easy. I can do this every day, no problem. Maybe I'll do 4 minutes. And then you'll expand on that. But just use the 2-minute rule and just start there. Just start writing what you want on a consistent basis every day and keep building on that. And then you'll see that opportunities will start coming to you, because they're right there. There's a story about the man digging he was 3 feet from gold. So he's digging and digging and digging and digging. And meanwhile, the gold is right there off to his left, 3 feet away, but he's digging in the wrong direction. So if you're digging in the wrong direction, you're not going to get what you want. So you need to dig in the right direction with your wants. You need to dig in the right direction with your thoughts. And if you want to use this little tool, record yourself, a 2-minute video, and just record yourself 3 months from now or 6 months from now, and just talking about the kinds of things that you anticipate happening, the kinds of things that you want in your life. And you'll see opportunities will start to show up. And then when the opportunities start to show up, you get confirmation. And that confirmation will be validation, and you'll appreciate it. And once you get into a state of appreciation, many opportunities will come. Many opportunities will come, because now you're in a state of appreciation. Your mind is tuned in, focused on what you want. You're now giving attention to the things you want. You start believing in yourself. You start believing in the opportunities coming to you, and they will. So these are the kinds of things that you have total control over. Everything else, you don't. You control your thoughts. That's it. So you might as well get your thoughts focused on what you want, taking the action that's going to cause the results that you want, and then feeling good. Once you feel good, guess what? You've raised your frequency. You've raised your vibration. Now you're on a higher level of awareness. Bob Proctor, my mentor, he talked about frequency. We are sending out frequency. We're a sending and receiving system. We send and receive signals all the time. We don't recognize it that way, but we are. We're sending out signals with our thoughts. We're sending out signals with our actions. This is our attitude, thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's what we're doing every single day. And so we have to really recognize what we're doing. Are we resisting? Or are we receiving? If we're not receiving, then we must be resisting. That's it. You know, we live in a binary universe. It's either one side of the coin or the other. Receiving on one side, or being in resistance mode on the other side. So if your life is a lot of resistance, there's a lot of resistance, and there's a lot of things not happening for you, then just start off with this 2-minute rule about writing what you want. And make a little video if you're feeling bold enough. You can just shoot it on your phone, keep it on your phone, you can watch it, keep it private. You don't need to share it with anybody. But now you're creating an anticipation for what you want. Now you have to watch out. Things are going to happen. Now you're looking for the opportunities. Now you've got your mind dialed in. You're giving it attention. You're feeling it. You're looking for it. And that bridge, remember I talked about that bridge earlier? You're going to cross that bridge. You're going to build the perception, the anticipation on one side. This is over here, pleasure, power. And over here is pain and struggle and hardship. And you're going to build a bridge. So over here, you're doing the work. Over here, you're imagining it. You're looking at the future. What does it look like? What's my identity over there? How do I feel? What am I doing? Where am I going? What kinds of people do I have in my life? What kind of circumstances do I have? What kind of freedom do I have? Start picturing that and thinking about that. Over here, take the action. Do what you need to do. Build the things you need to build. You might need to build a community or get involved in networking or hire a coach. I always hire coaches. Why? They give me a different perspective. They encourage me. They validate my efforts. These are the kinds of things you need. You need to be seen. You need to be heard. You need to be validated. And you need to be supported. Those are the things that you need. And once you have those working for you, then you can move forward easily and effortlessly and get into receiving mode. So if you like this video, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video.